a storm on the horizon, the pressure is low. Gotta get moving, put on a show. The news is all buzzing, state of alert, but we've got a plan, we're ready to work. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. See a little fire or a rising flood, we're a well-oiled machine, we're running in the mud. From the city hall meetings to the rescue teams, turning worst case scenarios into hopeful dreams. We're training the people, we're stocking the gear, we're the team you can count on when trouble is near. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines,
We're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates.
we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. It's more than a job, it's a calling, you see. Prepared for the present and what's yet to be. Every second counts, we're ready to react for our communities. We're
Make
making
it
an
an
impact.
impact.
Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines,
We're one of a kind.
Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when
When
you're
you're starting to fall.
Yeah, we're picking
You up, we're ready to work.
Let's get this
Show on the road. How many of you would like us to get this show on the road tonight? We're here live from the Area Command, 392 miles west of Kitty Hawk Beach, North Carolina, guys. Welcome to our show tonight. We're glad to be here with you. Thank you for being here, guys. We appreciate it a lot. We'll see you guys in just a second here. Dadgummit, let me turn off this music here. There we go. I got it turned off. How about that? I usually have it done before this, but we got it done anyway. Welcome to Wednesday, everyone. Welcome to Wednesday. This is Emergency Management Associates on the air. We talked about earthquakes. We talked about volcanoes. We talked about all kinds of dangerous weather. We've talked about hurricanes. We've talked about winter storms. We've talked about tornadoes. We've talked about fires, all kinds of things throughout our career here in the past 6.5 years. We're now pushing 7 years now. We're here for you, all ready to go. We come on the air between 4 and 5 o'clock during the weekdays and any time during the entire week, 7 days a week, because we come on the air when there are emergencies to be had. As soon as the information becomes available, we talk to you about it. We want you to know what's going on. The first thing I want to do is go to the USGS map and talk to you about earthquakes around the globe. Okay? We have a couple earthquakes in the South Pacific that are very dangerous. We need to talk about those. Okay? Let's take down our EMA banner. Let's take down our webcam for just a minute. Let's go to the South Pacific. Okay, right now we have the northwestern Pacific Ocean. We do have an earthquake over in the Adak area, Adak Islands here. Okay, this is a 4.2 moderate earthquake here, 115 miles west of Adak, Alaska, west southwest of Adak, Alaska. A 4.2 earthquake, moderate earthquake. Let's go down here to the South Pacific. Down here, okay, south of the Fiji Islands here. This is a very large 5.6 earthquake. A very large 5.6 earthquake. Large, deep earthquakes. This is a deep earthquake. Actually, it is 632 kilometers deep. 632 kilometers deep. Okay, this means, okay, let me bring up the depth to magnitude conversion chart here. Go over here to 632 kilometers deep. We go over to and add 1.27 to this quake. Add 1.27 magnitude to this quake. And doing that, this earthquake is going to be, it's going to propagate, birth a new shallower quake that's going to be at least a 6.8 to 6.9, possibly even a 7.0 earthquake. Very strong to a major earthquake somewhere in this region within the next 3 to 10 days. 3 to 10 days, guys. Major earthquake coming. Major earthquake coming. Up here further north, this is a 4.5 earthquake. 4.5 moderate earthquake. This is 502 miles deep. This earthquake here is going to propagate a 5.6 earthquake. 5.6 moderate, or 5.6 very large earthquake in the next 3 to 10 days. So we're going to see a very large earthquake, and we're going to see probably near a major earthquake somewhere in this region. It's either going to be upwards here towards Tonga, over here in the Fiji area, in the Vanuatu area here, or even further west over here in the Solomon Islands, or even Papua New Guinea in the next 3 to 10 days. Over here to the further west here, this earthquake was not here earlier today when I checked. This is a 5.0 earthquake. This is a very shallow earthquake. 5.0 large earthquake here. This is over near Solo, Vanuatu. Solo, Vanuatu. It's out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. This earthquake did not propagate any, is not going to propagate any other earthquakes because it is a moderate shallow quake. Okay, but it's further enough away from any islands here where it's not and will not pose a problem in the way of damage to the people here on the islands of Vanuatu. This is 108 miles northwest of Solo, Vanuatu. Okay. Now again, these are not the only earthquakes here in this region. Okay, there are a lot of other earthquakes here. This earthquake over here in Papua New Guinea. This is a 4.7 moderate earthquake. This is also 6.2 miles, 10 kilometers deep. 139 miles east of Kokopo, Papua New Guinea. Let's zoom in here. I want to show you where this earthquake is. Again, this is out in the ocean here. Out in the ocean. This is not anywhere near an island. This 4.7 earthquake would have done moderate damage, but being out here in the ocean waters have absorbed the shock waves of this quake. So nobody got hurt and no damage to property either. Okay, that's lucky. But again, USGS is not talking about all the earthquakes here either. Okay, They're only showing one earthquake here in Indonesia. This is a complete fallacy. There are over 36 earthquakes right now here in Indonesia. 36 earthquakes here. This earthquake is over here on the lower side of the Indonesia plate area. Okay? There are 7 different tectonic plates throughout this region. 7 different tectonic plates. That's important to know. Why? Because, folks, what happens? What happens? When we have earthquakes here in Indonesia, these earthquakes are caused by plate tectonics. 7 major tectonic plates are subducting here. One tectonic plate subducting under the other just like this. That's why they have earthquakes here. Over 36 earthquakes as of about 2 hours ago. 36 earthquakes caused by plate tectonics. Okay? One plate moving under another just like this. Now, given that, we are seeing a lot of other earthquakes here. That's going to continue. Okay? Why? Because we've had a lot of solar flares. 2 days ago on Sunday, actually 3 days ago on Sunday, the solar disk, the sun, launched a major solar flare out into space. Okay? Yes, it was a halo CME, meaning the plasma radiation went out into space and some of it rained back down on the sun. It's called a halo CME. Okay? But it also launched plasma radiation out into space, and it has hit the Earth today, last night, and today. Okay? Which means we can expect to see more earthquakes. We're going to expect to see more earthquakes. Why? When that plasma radiation goes out into space, when it hits any planet, that radiation completely engulfs the planet like this. Now, this was off the southeast side of the sun, on the Earth side facing the sun. Okay? When that happened, the primary energy of the CME, the solar flare, went out here and partially hit the Earth like this. But in this case, it doesn't matter because the Earth was facing the sun. The plasma radiation hit most of the Earth just like this today. Okay? When that happens, the Earth's atmosphere heats up, the plates and also the earthquake faults all over the planet heat up. Plasma radiation causes the plates and the faults to heat up. When that happens, all the biological material, all the gunk and grime, the sand, the dirt, the rock, that holds those faults in place and holds the tectonic plates in place, literally dissolves into a greasy oil-like substance. When that happens, it allows the plates and the faults to more freely move, and thus we have earthquakes. That is one of the reasons we have this 5.6 today. We're going to have another close to 7.0 earthquake, if not a 7.0 earthquake, down in the South Pacific area. Okay, yes, it could go over towards Vanuatu, the Solomon Islands. It could also go into Papua New Guinea as well. It could all go into Australia. It could go south into New Zealand. Here. But it also could travel the entire Pacific Ocean and go over here to Chile and Argentina as well. It's happened in the past. Okay? We have seen 7.4 earthquakes over here in the Kermadec Islands as well. Down here in the Kermadec Islands north of New Zealand. That's happened before. About 6 years ago, when I was just beginning this program, We had multiple 7.4 earthquakes over here in the Kermadec Islands, north of New Zealand. By multiple, I'm talking 6 or 7, at least 6 or 7, 7.4 earthquakes hit the Kermadec Islands in several days. That was the first time ever that I've seen that much seismic energy anywhere around this planet, literally inundating a specific area. It happened. Yes, it is possible it could happen again. Okay, I want to put that out there. I'm giving you the warning what's going to happen. You might see that. Again, the USGS is not showing all the earthquakes. There are 24 earthquakes here in New Zealand, on north of the North Island and south North Island and South Island. 24 earthquakes here. They're not showing any of them. They're not showing a single one. Let's go over here to South America. They're hardly showing anything going on here in South America as well. This is a joke. This is literally a joke. This is a 4.0 moderate earthquake along the coastline of central Chile. 4.0 moderate earthquake along the coastline of central Chile. This is near a town called Talcahuano. Talcahuano, capital Takabuano, Chile. 4.0 earthquake. Now, because this is along the shoreline, I do not think that anybody even got any damage from this earthquake. Okay? Yes, there are populations here. There are cities here all along this area, but I do not think anybody felt any specific damage from this quake. It also, as you can see, had other aftershocks. This was a 4.3 earthquake here. This was a 4.1. This is a shallow 17-mile deep earthquake. This is a 13-mile deep earthquake. This 4.0 was a 22-mile deep earthquake. Okay. Then, up here, along the border of Chile and Argentina, this is in the Andes Mountains here. This is in the Andes Mountains of Argentina on the Chilean border. This, folks, is a 4.4 earthquake. 4.4 moderate earthquake, also 22 miles deep. Shell quake. Shell quake. Now, while we're seeing 2 earthquakes here, be advised, there are 12 other earthquakes here in this area too that they are not talking about. Further up to the north, Tarapacá and Atacama, Chile up here. Tarapacá and Atacama provinces of Chile here. There are 14 earthquakes here. 14 earthquakes that they are not talking about. That's pretty bad. That's pretty sad when they don't want to identify that many earthquakes. We've talked about this before. This is typical USGS. They don't want to be honest with us about anything. Heaven forbid we know what's going on. Heaven forbid these people here in South America know what's going on either. This is terrible. This is terrible. Let me show you how many earthquakes are hitting here. Look at all these earthquakes here. 36 earthquakes just in this area of Chile. 36 earthquakes. Incredible. Incredible. 4.0, 3.4s, 2.7 Valparaiso, Chile, the capital. 2.7 Valparaiso, Chile, the capital. 4.4 here in that area where we have that earthquake here. There's a 4.4 earthquake here. Unreal. 4.4, they're not even showing. Actually, I'm sorry, they are. They are showing that earthquake. They are showing that earthquake right here. 4.4 earthquake here. Along with that, there was also a seismic increase here. There's a small cache of earthquakes with that 4.4 earthquake. Okay? They're not telling us about. Here's a 2.6 minor earthquake. 2.6, another 2.6, another 2.5, another 2.7. 3 earthquakes right there. Okay? As you can see, there are a lot more earthquakes than that. Here's another 4.2 along the coastline. Another 4.2 along the coastline that they are not talking about. Now they show one 4.4. Why are they not showing the 4.2? Why? Because they don't think it's important. They don't think it's important. Here's a 3.7. La Roya Province, Argentina. .7 minor or small earthquake. Going up north. Here's the 3.9. 3.9. Yet they're not showing any earthquakes here. 3.9 earthquake here in the Andes Mountains at the border of Chile and Argentina, near Salta, Argentina. Okay? Going north. Jujuy, Argentina. Again, at the border of Chile and Argentina here. This is a 2.8 minor earthquake. Okay? There's a whole slew of earthquakes here. Okay? I'm going to only talk to you about this because they go north to south here, almost in a direct line, almost. From the southern side, this is a 3.0 small quake. 3.0 going north. Okay? From there, we have another 3.0. We have a 2.7. Another 3.3 small quake. Going north. Antofagasta, Chile. Here's a 2.7. 2.7. Going north, we have a 3.3. Going further north, another 2.9 and another 2.7. Minor earthquakes there, 2 minor earthquakes there. Further north, Potosi, Bolivia. Again, this is an earthquake that they're not showing us here. This is along the Chile-Bolivia border in the Andes Mountains. This is another 4.0. 4.0 moderate earthquake. They're showing one other moderate earthquake and they're not showing the others. Why not? Why not? Okay? Incredible. But we go north. Another 2.5 and another 2.7 minor earthquake right there. That's in Chile, northern Chile. Let's go to Peru. Lima region, Peru. This is a 3.7 earthquake here. 3.7 minor earthquake there, or small earthquake. 3.7 small earthquake there. Okay. We go up into Columbia. Choco, Columbia. This is a 2.5 earthquake here. 2.5. We then go into Venezuela. Near Arapui Meridian, Venezuela. Arapuri Meridian, Venezuela. We have a 2.3 and a 2.6 earthquake right there. 2.3 and a 2.6 earthquake right there, Venezuela. One more earthquake. Okay. This is near the island of Tortuga off the northern coast of Venezuela. 24 miles east off the island of Tortuga. This is a 3.2 small quake. This is a 3.2 small quake off the island of Tortuga, just north of Venezuela here. North and east of Venezuela. Okay? That's 24 miles east of Tortuga. Unreal. Completely unreal. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Excuse me just a second. We've got 2, 4. Actually, it's more than that. Down here in central Chile, we have a small swarm of earthquakes here. They showed us one. Small swarm of earthquakes here. We have a 4.3 here to begin with. 4.3 moderate earthquake. One of these others is a 4.1. Then a 3.0, another 3.0, another 4.0, another 3.2. We have 3 moderate earthquakes and 3 small earthquakes there. That's 6. 2 more earthquakes south there off the coast. Okay? Then we go north for 2 more. That's 8. 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19, 20, 22, 22 earthquakes here in central Chile before we even go north. 22 earthquakes. Then we go over to northern Chile. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15 more. We have 37 earthquakes down here. "37 earthquakes here in central northern Chile. 36. One in Peru. One in one in Colombia, 2 in Venezuela, and 1 off of Tortuga. 41 earthquakes here. 41 earthquakes here in South America. USGS shows us 2. That's insane. That's literally insane. Now, I want to go off the coast of South America now. Why do I think this is important? Because we have earthquakes here that they're not talking about. They're showing us 1 earthquake offshore from Briga, Panama. Again, this is a 4.3 earthquake here on the Cocos Plate. the Cocos Plate. Guess what? North of there, off the coast of Costa Rica, 5 more earthquakes here. 3.6, 3.2, 2.5, 3.01, and another 3.2. Small and minor earthquakes south of Costa Rica here on the Cocos Plate. Interesting. Northern Costa Rica, Punta Arenas, Costa Rica. This is a 2.87 earthquake here. So far, just this area, South or Central America, 10 earthquakes. 10 earthquakes. We go north of Nicaragua. We have a 3.2. North there along the coastline, another 3.0. North of there, El Salvador, a 2.56. They're only showing us one earthquake. They're showing us one earthquake. That's literally insane. Literally insane, guys. Let's go over here to southern Mexico. Southern Mexico, guys. They show us one earthquake here off the coast. 4.7. 4.7. Right up here. Right up here, we have a volcano up here. Guess what? 7 earthquakes around the volcano there. 7 earthquakes around this volcano. They're not showing us these either. 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.3, 2.6, 2.2, and another 2.0. Minor earthquakes around this volcano here. Why are they not showing these? Why are they not showing these earthquakes around the volcano? That volcano is stirring. All the volcanoes around this planet are stirring. All of them. 47 volcanoes are moving. 47 volcanoes are erupting in one form or another. USGS never tells us about that. Very rarely ever says anything. Yet this volcano is stirring, and USGS doesn't say a word about it. Nothing. 7 earthquakes right there. But they don't want to see exactly what's going on. Look at these other earthquakes here. 3.2, 3.7, 3.5s, and 4.0 earthquakes here. In this area alone, 7 earthquakes around the volcano. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 more. 11 more earthquakes right there. Want to show you this. Look at this. 50 plus earthquakes here in southern Mexico. 50 plus earthquakes here in southern Mexico, and they don't say word one about it. They don't say one word about it. 50 plus earthquakes. Why not? Why not? Here in Chinacana, Oaxaca, Mexico, that's a 3.7. That is a small 3.7 earthquake. Just a second, guys. Something fell here. And I don't know what it was. It sounded like my dog. The dog didn't fall. Dog didn't fall. Dog's downstairs. I don't know what fell. Look at all these earthquakes here. Why are we not being told about it? Why are we not being told about it? Obviously, we have earthquakes. 3s, 4s, all over this area. 3s and 4.0s, 4.5s, all over this area. Here's a 4.5. I'm sorry, 4.1. That's a 4.1 earthquake, moderate earthquake. Incredible. Hurricane Heather says she has to go at 3 her time, which is another, say another 50 minutes here. Another 50 minutes. We appreciate you, Heather. God bless you. Heather's not only one of my friends here, one of my very dear sisters here. No, she's not blood sister, but she's a sister to me. But she's a very decent person. She's a wife and mother. She's also mother of 2 dogs. How about that? Great lady there. Really great lady. But guys, south of Puerto Vallarta, earthquakes. South of Puerto Vallarta. Just really briefly. 3.6. Another 3.6. Michoacan, Mexico. Resort area. Zihuatanejo to the south, that's a 3.4. Zihuatanejo, another resort area in Mexico. Going up here further north, just south of Puerto Vallarta, 3.2, 3.3, 3.0, 2.9, 3.0 earthquake there, 4.6, 4.6. Why are they not showing these earthquakes? Why are they not showing these earthquakes? That is a moderate, upsized moderate earthquake there. 4.6 moderate earthquake. Why are they not showing that? Further north here, this is a 3.0 small quake. Just to north there, another 3.2. North there, 3.1. Along the coastline, Manzanillo, Mexico. Again, resort area Mexico, we have a 3.4. 3.4 earthquake. Why are they not showing those? Offshore. We have a 4.4 and a 3.9. 4.4 and a 3.9 here. Okay, why do we have these earthquakes here? Why do we have these earthquakes? Can you say San Andreas Fault? San Andreas Fault? The San Andreas Fault runs all the way through California from offshore Northern California. Then it runs all the way down here through the Gulf of California, out into the Southern Pacific Ocean offshore of Mexico. San Andreas Fault. Cabo San Lucas. We have more earthquakes here. right here, Cabo. Cabo. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8 earthquakes here. We've been having earthquakes here in Cabo for some time now, probably over a month now. This is a 2.4 earthquake. 2.4 mine earthquake here. 2.4, 2.0, 1.7 tremor, another 1.7 tremor. And we're going north now. San Jose del Cabo, another 1.9 tremor, 1.7. Another 1.7. The furthest north is also a 1.7 tremor here. 8 earthquakes there. 8 earthquakes. Why is USGS not showing those? Yes, they don't typically show minor tremors here, but they have shown them other places. They've shown us 1.7 tremors on the New Madrid Fault. Why are they not showing these in Cabo San Lucas? Incredible. It's insane. Now let's go over here further into the Gulf of California, way up here to the north. Right here, on again the San Andreas Fault. This is a 3.3 earthquake. That's a 3.3 earthquake right there. On the San Andreas. Let's go further north. Look what they're showing us here. Hardly nothing. I shouldn't say that, it's hardly anything. Hardly anything. They're showing us one earthquake down here south of the border, near Puebla, Baja California. 1.7 tremor here. But folks, that's not all. There's more. There's more. 2.9, 3.0. 2.9, 3.0. 3.1, another 3.4. West of San Felipe, Mexico. 3 small earthquakes here. Yes, they're Mexico. They're showing us one in Mexico. There are actually 4 earthquakes here. 4 earthquakes here in Mexico. They're also not showing us any at the border. They're not showing anything here at the border. There are earthquakes here as well. This is the 1.68. 1.68 tremor. Right next to it is another 3.4. 3.4 earthquake. Why are they not showing this? This is right next to the border. This is just south of the border here. 3.4 small earthquake. Okay, now what you don't know. Try to read this here. Try to read this here. Guadalupe, Victoria, Mexico. Guadalupe, Victoria, Mexico here. That's important. Why? Because in 2010, down here at the border, Guadalupe, Victoria, Mexico. Guadalupe, Victoria, Mexico. We had a 7.1 earthquake here. 7.1 earthquake. We have presently a 3.4, 1.68, a 3.3 earthquakes here. Guadalupe, Victoria, Mexico. Guadalupe, Victoria, Mexico, guys. The same area where we had a major 7.1 earthquake here. A 7.1 earthquake that destroyed parts of Mexicali on the south and Calexico to the north. Also, parts of the Imperial Valley got devastated. You can't have a 7.1 major earthquake just south of the border here without having property damage in the Imperial County of Southern California. It happened. It happened. That earthquake shaking was felt all the way over here into Arizona. It was also felt all the way up here into northern LA, northern Los Angeles. Is what is happening now near the border. They're not showing us here. All this energy here that's happening, is this a precursor to a large earthquake? Possibly. I want you to know what's going on. That's why we're talking about it. We may see another much larger earthquake here in the coming days and weeks. Guadalupe, Victoria, Mexico, guys. They're not showing us one single earthquake here in the populated areas of the Imperial Valley. There are over 500 earthquakes a day here in the Imperial Valley, every day, every single day. USGS is not talking about it. They should. They should, especially since I just showed you just south of the border, we're having small and moderate earthquakes there, and that's the truth. That area could be building. We've talked about it a lot. We've talked about it a lot. Not only do we have seismic energy coming out of the north on the San Andreas Fault, we have energy way up here to the north, right up here. We don't show any earthquakes up here on the San Andreas to the north near the Cascade Fault, but we do have earthquakes. We have seismic energy coming off of Northern California on the San Andreas Fault here all the time. This is an earthquake in Pacifica, California, just west of the San Francisco Bay. Pacifica, California. They're not even showing us all the earthquakes here in San Francisco. Not all. West of Monterey Bay, on the San Andreas, Gilroy, California. Every day we have more earthquakes here in Gilroy, California. This is a 1.4 tremor here. Over here on the Hayward. This is the Hayward Fault. San Martin, California. 1.3 tremor. Down here to the south. This is King City, California. 1.7 tremor here. Down here to the south. Tulane, California. 2.0 earthquake. We'll come down here. Okay? That was on the San Andreas Fault. Further south here in Santa Barbara. This is a 3.0 earthquake here. Santa Barbara, California. East of Santa Barbara, Fillmore, California, we have a 1.4 tremor. Over here on the San Andreas Fault, right here, Castaic, California, 1.2 tremor. They're not even showing all the earthquakes here on the San Andreas Fault here around Los Angeles. There are earthquakes here. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about those earthquakes here in Southern California. They are lying to us. There are over 400 earthquakes a day here in the greater LA area. Greater Los Angeles area, over 400 earthquakes a day. They're showing us a brand new earthquake here. This is just south of Corona, California. 1.6 tremor here. 1.6 tremor. They're not showing us anything even close to what's actually going on. Okay? We have seismic energy going down the San Andreas into Southern California. We have energy coming from Mexico on the San Andreas. They're not showing that either. They're not showing it because they don't want us to know what's happening. They don't want us to see what's going on. Guys, we need to keep our eyes and ears open. We need to know what's going on so we can prepare for what's going to happen. For those of you that live in Southern California, or you might have friends or relatives here, you need to tell them what's happening. Ask them to tune into this show. Send them a link to this program so they'll know what's going on. Because they may be expecting a major earthquake down here to the south. They may be expecting a major earthquake down here along the border again, right in the Guadalupe, Victoria area here, right there. Okay? Tune into this program. I'm not here to scare anybody. I want people to be prepared. That's all I want everybody to do is be prepared. I don't want a major earthquake to happen and people be hornswoggled wondering what the heck happened. Why did it happen? I'm giving you information to help you. I'm showing you information to help you. Rich Quake here from Nova Scotia, Canada is saying between the Salton Sea and the Gulf of California used to be an ocean once upon a time. I can tell you by looking at the maps. This is going to turn into another ocean here in the near future. I'm not saying any time within the next 5 or 10 years, but in the future at some point in time. The Gulf of California is going to open up here. This landmass to the north of Gulf of California here, Mexico and California, is going to open up. Okay? The Salton Sea here, you see. This is also going to become a part of it. Landmass is going to open up here in California here. It's going to go way north here. It's going to go way north up here to this volcano here, Pyramid Lake. Pyramid Lake. Guys, the inland waterway will be coming all the way up here. Pyramid Lake is also a volcano. That little tiny island there you see to the south, that is the summit of the volcano. But that inland waterway is going to reach from the Gulf of California all the way up here just south of Pyramid Lake. It's going to happen. It will happen. I don't think it will happen within the next 10 or 20 years, but it could happen. It will happen at some point in time. I see my friend Canadian Patriot One here from Ottawa, Canada area. Dave, thank you for being here. We appreciate you here. I talked to Dave just briefly early this past week. Appreciate him very much. Appreciate him very much. Do we have any questions about anything here in Southern California? Before we get over to the Pacific Northwest, before we get into the Pacific Northwest, I want to bring you over here to Italy. I want to zoom in over here, just south of Naples, Italy. Vesuvius volcano is stretching its flanks here. Vesuvius volcano is moving. We've had numerous earthquakes here. USGS is not even showing anything going on except steam coming from the volcano. Yes, they're showing steam coming from the volcano, but they're not showing the earthquakes. Guess what? They have put together emergency evacuation plans. They have put together emergency evacuation plans. There are over 700,000 people living around the volcano. Presently, they are initiating emergency evacuation plans because this volcano shows signs of a possible immediate eruption. Not just steaming, earthquakes throughout this area, all around the volcano. Down here to the southeast here, earthquakes. Down here to the south, more earthquakes. Up here north of the volcano up here, more earthquakes. This is a highly populated area. All around the volcano here, we have earthquakes happening. This is a very urbanized area. Earthquakes all over the place. All over the place. You also see craters here. When the volcano last erupted, numerous other vents also erupted here. That's why we have craters. Other vents around the volcano erupted. You see these craters. There are also earthquakes around the craters as well. USGS doesn't show anything going on. Nothing. Just like up here for the north and central Italy, right here. 20 plus earthquakes every day. They don't show a single one. Nothing. Up here to the north, on the eastern side of northern Italy, we have resort areas. There are tremors and minor earthquakes happening here. Down here to the northwest here, more earthquakes here. Up here in the Alps Mountains, more tremors and minor earthquakes here. We go north into Germany, over in Switzerland, over even into France. Earthquakes all over. 1.2 tremors, 1.7 tremors, and 2.1 up to 2.4 earthquakes here in France. They don't show them. A handful of minor earthquakes here in Spain. Not showing those either. Heaven forbid. Heaven forbid. Let's go down here into Puerto Rico. Southwestern Puerto Rico. We have 2 earthquakes here. This is a 2.2 earthquake near Indios, Puerto Rico. Indios, Puerto Rico here. 2.2 earthquake here. Over here to the west, a 2.5. Near Polo Olea, Puerto Rico, 2.5 minor earthquake. These are aftershocks of two major earthquakes that happened here. Two major earthquakes that happened here in 2019. December 26th and December 28th, 2019. 8.0 and an 8.4 earthquake happened here, respectively. These are aftershocks of that earthquake, or those earthquakes. We've talked about it before. We covered these earthquakes here when they happen. We talked about it. Northeast of Puerto Rico, this is a 3.8 earthquake. 3.8 earthquake here. Over here to the west, also 3.5. These earthquakes were dropped here by this fault line to the north. The Cayman Ridge, or I like to refer to it as the Cayman Trench. Underwater trench here. Underwater earthquake fault. That earthquake fault goes out here to the east, just northeast of U.S. and British Virgin Islands. Then it drops south past Leeward Islands out here and goes into Venezuela here. Goes off the Atlantic Ocean into Venezuela here. The Cayman Ridge. Okay? The Cayman Ridge originates over in Guatemala. Okay? We've had earthquakes here before. Lots and lots of earthquakes here before. I want to talk about one other earthquake here. This time on the New Madrid Fault. This is a 2.6 earthquake here near Cooter, Missouri. Cooter, Missouri. They say it's northwest of Cooter, Missouri. Let's look at this. Look what we really have. This is 1.7 in Steele, Missouri. Steele, Missouri. 1.7 tremor here. 1.7 and a 2.6 here near Cooter, Missouri. These are not the only earthquakes here. The New Madrid Fault here is moving. The New Madrid Fault is moving, guys. These are not the only earthquakes, and I'm going to tell you this. There are over 200 earthquakes a day here on the New Madrid Fault. 200 earthquakes a day. These are only tremors and minor earthquake here. There are hundreds of them. There are also small 3.0 to 3.8 earthquakes here every day on the New Madrid Fault. It's my belief from analyzing the data every day that the New Madrid Fault is going to pop sometime within the next 2 years. 2 years. The New Madrid Fault is going to pop within the next 2 years. Down here. This is where the New Madrid Fault goes up here to the north, curves around the Mississippi River. Actually, the Mississippi River changed course back in 1811 when it first happened. But here we see a lot of earthquakes as well. We report on these earthquakes on a weekly basis. We have small, minor, and tremors happen here every day here on the New Madrid Fault. But of course, USGS rarely even talks about it. It's going to pop. It's going to pop in a big way. Rich Quake says it seems like the whole world is only being held together by a few threads. Seems like it, doesn't it? You're absolutely right. You're absolutely completely right. Earthquakes on the pneumatid reaching up here into Illinois and Ohio and Indiana every day. Kentucky and Tennessee as well. And Mississippi down here to the south, and Arkansas and Louisiana down here to the southwest. Earthquakes every day. And USGS hardly even talks about it. They don't want anybody to know about it. They don't want anybody to know about it. How about earthquakes here in the Pacific Northwest? Yes, we have those earthquakes. We have those earthquakes up here in the north. Right here, Canada. Canada. They call this an explosion. Really? Explosion here? This is just east of a quarry. This is east of a quarry, guys, in a semi-forested area. This is 9 miles south of Princeton, Canada. Interesting. But it is east of a quarry here. It's east of a quarry. It's about, what shall I say, 400 meters east of the quarry. Nowhere near the quarry. What do we call these, guys? What do we call these? What do we call these? Spontaneous combustus carnivorous. Another exploding tree. Marmots or squirrels or small tiny animals that burrow in the ground here? Are they actually causing these earthquakes? Are they causing the ground to shake here? Or is it an exploding tree? Spontaneous combustus carnivorous here in Canada. Again, guys. I tell you, it's unreal. It's actually unreal. Let's go south. Now, in a few minutes, I'm going to show you a volcano up here, Mount Baker. Mount Baker is shaking. No, I don't think Mount Baker is going to erupt anytime soon, but it is steaming. But it is also moving. Approximately 40 miles southeast of there, Glacier Peak. I'd show you information about Glacier Peak, but there is none. Just trash. Just trash around Glacier Peak. Here near Varlot, Washington. Not that far from Mount Glacier Peak. This is a 1.0 tremor here. We go south here. South here near the Puget Sound. Shoreline, Washington, 1.7 tremor. Interesting, but no cigar. I'm going to show you in just a minute earthquakes up and down the entire Puget Sound area. I'm also going to show you earthquakes here along the shoreline of Washington and Oregon. Right here. right here. This is Hump Tulips, Washington. Hump Tulips, Washington. 1.6 tremor. Earthquakes up and down the coastline here. They call this a 1.6 tremor. Why are they not showing all the other tremors up and down the fault line? Why are they not showing all the other microquakes as well? Tons of them. Tons of them. For the south here. Northwest of Mount Rainier. A 0.3 microquake. Interesting. I'm going to show you a ton of microquakes. I'm going to show you a ton of tremors. I'm going to show you some minor and small earthquakes happening here at Mount Rainier. Yeah, Mount Rainier. They're not showing anything else like that, right? Not at all. Not at all. Jumping down here to Mount St. Helens. Look at this. Near the summit crater on the rim of the volcano. They call this a minus 0.1 microquake. Minus numbers are because they say it's above sea level. Let me tell you this. This microquake here is not above sea level. 4.6 miles deep. That's not above sea level at all. Also, this is not the only earthquake that happened here. Yes, we have microquakes, we have minor earthquakes, we have tremors, and we have small earthquakes happening here at Mount St. Helens on a daily basis, even today. I'm going to show you activity here as well. Then we're going to go down here to Mount Hood. They're not talking about that. I'm going to show you earthquakes and tremors here at Mount Hood. I'm going to drop down here to Bachelor Volcano, or what they call Moon Volcano now. Instead of calling it Moon Volcano. There is activity here at Moon. Down here to the southwest here, they're showing us one earthquake here in Oregon. Crawfordsville, Oregon. Is 0.9 microquake, 1.0 tremor here. 6 miles southeast of Crawfordsville, Oregon. Interesting. Because they are saying that's the only earthquake here. They're hardly showing anything here. This is a joke. This is an absolute joke here. Incredible. Incredible what they don't show us here. Let's go over the tremor map. The tremor map here, out here in the Puget Sound region. Here in the Puget Sound region, we have some minor tremors here. Some minor tremors here. Interesting, because as you can see up at the top right, it says we're having 800 or 185 epicenters here, 185 earthquakes here. Interesting. Up here on the right-hand side, you see 1.1 tremors, 1.3 tremors, 1.0 tremors, and such. They said there's 118 events here. Let's go further down here to the west. Look what's happening here. Look what's happening here, guys. Again, northwest of Medford, Oregon. More tremors here. And down here to the south, Mount Shasta area. Tremors. Lots of them. They said there's 187 tremors here. Really? Really? Let me tell you this. The Pacific Northwest Seismic Network should lose its license to even show this information. Because as a rule, as I've shown you here before, every day, there are more earthquakes and tremors than they are even showing here. Lots more. I would dare say there's probably 1,000 earthquakes up and down this area. 1,000 earthquakes. That's not that far off. Let's show you some earthquakes now. Let's show you some earthquakes here. Okay? Right here. Astoria, Oregon. Last night. You see 1,600 hours here last night. That's 4 p.m. Pacific time. On the black line here, 1,700 hours is 5 p.m. We come over here to 5:04. 5:04 p.m. we have some tremors building up. See that little V going out to the left-hand side? Those are tremor buildups. Tremor buildups to a minor earthquake. That earthquake was a 2.5, 2.6 earthquake. Multiple earthquakes. Multiple back-to-back earthquakes. Tremors building up to that 2.4, 2.5, maybe 2.6 earthquake here. Out to the right. Out to the right, you see some tremors building up after that. And then the seismic energy dies off. Then just about 2 minutes later, we have a bunch more tremors there, very minor tremors. More tremors before that 15-minute time period ends. Then we come down here to 1,900 hours on the left-hand side. 1,900 hours on this block line would be 7 p.m. 7:02 p.m. last night Pacific time. Tremor activity. 1.5, 1.7 tremors here. Astoria, Oregon. Why are they not showing this activity? Why? Why are they not showing this activity? And later this morning. Look at all these tremors later this morning. Even long duration tremor activity. Long duration tremor activity caused by magma. Magma coming off the Pacific coast, off the Pacific plate, running over here to the North American plate, and then the magma runs from here all the way to the volcanoes. Astoria, Oregon. Long duration tremors here. Why are they not showing this here? It's happening every day. Every day. But it's not the only place. Let's go over to LC, Oregon here. Look at this, guys. Last night on this red line here. That red line here is 5:15 on the left-hand side. So approximately 5:18 p.m. last night. 2.6, 2.7 earthquake. Then look at all these other tremors here. Look at all these other tremors here. Why are they not showing these earthquakes on the map? They should be. Tremors and minor earthquakes here. Interesting. I'm not done. How about Seaside, Oregon? Seaside, Oregon here. No, this is nowhere near Medford. This is Central Oregon. Look at all these earthquakes and tremors here. Don't you think that the USBS and the Pacific Northwest Seismic Network ought to be showing this information? Absolutely, they absolutely should. Also here this morning at the bottom, early this morning at the bottom here, we have harmonic tremors. Harmonic tremors is signifying magma. Magma vibrating the coastline here. Magma that is vibrating the coastline, magma headed for the volcanoes here near Seaside, Oregon. Yeah, how about that? Harmonic tremors here at the coastline. And a ton of other tremors here as well. Don't you think the Pacific Northwest Seismic Network should be showing this on the tremor map? They absolutely should. But they're not. Just adding those tremors we've already seen in minor earthquakes. We now have probably another 250 earthquakes here that they're not showing us. Gerhard, Oregon. Gerhard, Oregon, guys. This is also Central Oregon along the coastline. Not on the coastline, but near it. Here, today, at the bottom here. This is just after 1:15 this afternoon. 1:17 this afternoon. 2.93.0 earthquake here. 2.93.0 earthquake here. Why is this not on the tremor map? Why is this not on the USGS map? It's a 2.93.0 earthquake. You would think they would want to put that up here, but they're not. They're not showing these kinds of earthquakes at all because they're afraid that if anyone actually found out the magnitude of these earthquakes and tremors, they would get out of Dodge. They would get out of Dodge. It's not happening. Let's go over to northern Washington now. Grays Harbor, Washington. Grays Harbor, Washington has seen a lot of tremors as well. Why were they only showing maybe 7 earthquakes here in the Puget Sound area? Look at all this activity here. Last night, you see tremors here. This morning, lots and lots of tremors. And we also have some minor earthquakes as well. Fancy that. Some minor earthquakes as well. Then after 4:15 this morning, approximately 4:19, they turned off the seismograph completely. They turned off the seismograph completely. Almost 2 minutes it was off. What happened during those 2 minutes? Why did they turn it off? Tons and tons of tremors here, guys. Grays Harbor, Washington. Now we probably would add another 50 tremors to that in the Puget Sound area. Why is it not listed on the tremor map? Nakota, Washington. Nakota, Washington. Look at this. More tremors here. More tremors here. Look at that earthquake here. Look at this earthquake. Tapping on the black line here. This black line on the left-hand side would be 4 p.m. Pacific time. Last night, yesterday afternoon. Come over here to the right. This earthquake happened at approximately 4:14 p.m. yesterday evening. 3.2, 3.3 earthquake. You don't see the top of it because it would have been off the seismograph. But we see the bottom of it. You see the dot here. 4:14 p.m. yesterday evening. This was a 3.2, 3.3 earthquake here. Why is this also not being shown on the USGS map? Should be. What about the rest of these tremors here as well? Another 100 tremors here. Dakota, Washington. How about Ocean Shores, Washington here? Look at all the tremors here. You've also seen harmonic tremors here. Harmonic tremors. Magma coming off the Pacific plate, coming over here to the North American plate and running over through magma channels over to the volcanoes. Ocean Shores, Washington, guys. Incredible. How about Pacific County, Washington? Harmonic tremors here, side to side, top to bottom. The entire seismogram is showing tremors here all day long. No one felt these tremors. These are tiny tremors here. Nobody felt them, but they happen nonetheless. Now, guys, this particular seismogram on each and every line runs 20 minutes. 20 minutes during a 24-hour period. Hundreds of quakes happen here. Hundreds of tremors. Why are they not showing these on the tremor map? They should. These should be shown on every tremor map. They're not. It's obviously not going to happen. Over here, LaSalle, Washington. They call this Radar Ridge seismogram. Here you see a bunch of tremors here. Each and every line, there's tremors here. Now you notice that some of these lines are inverted, sideways, perpendicular here. That means the seismologist didn't know what he was doing when he set up the seismograph. Messing up. Down here at the bottom, you see some more tremors and you see 2.0 earthquake here. At the very bottom on the black line. Over here, this would be approximately 1:17, 1:18 p.m. this afternoon, Pacific time. Earthquake happens here. Why is this not on the USGS map? Why is it not being shown on the tremor map as well? Should be. You would think. You would think. How about the law enforcement unit of the Fish and Game? Washington State. Look what's happening here. There isn't one 2.0 minor earthquake here. These are all tremors. Hundreds of tremors here in Washington. Why is this not on the tremor map? They hardly showed anything. Guys, earthquakes are happening in Washington and Oregon that they are not reporting. Nothing. Not a thing. Let's go over to Harbor, Willapa Harbor. Willapa Harbor. They used to show us earthquakes here. These show us minor earthquakes, 2.6, 2.8, 2.9 earthquakes here. Now, all we are seeing here are tremors. Why is this not also being shown here on the map? along the coastline. Why are they not being honest with us? They don't want to tell us about it. Heaven forbid we tell the truth. Heaven forbid the public knows what's going on. No, you're not going to feel tremors. You're not going to feel minor earthquakes. But you're going to feel small 3.0 large earthquakes. You are. Yet on the data we have to show you, at the volcanoes, you are going to see some small 3.0, 3.3 earthquakes today. They are happening at the volcanoes as we speak. But heaven forbid the USGS shows us anything. Folks, this is Mount Baker. This is Mount Baker volcano up to the north, just south of the USGS, just south of the line of Canada, south of the Canadian border. Look what we see here. Harmonic tremors again. We are also seeing some minor earthquakes as well. Up at the top here, on the second black line. The second black line on the left-hand side would be 6 p.m. Actually, 5 p.m. The top black line is 4 p.m. The second one is 5 p.m. We come over here to 5:02, 1.9 tremor. Come over here to 5:05. Again, we have 1.9, 2.0 earthquake there. Come over here to the right, we have more tremors here. A lot of tremors. Up and above harmonic. Up and above harmonic, these are larger tremors here. Tremors cannot be felt. Down here at the bottom of the seismic, you also see some other tremors larger than harmonic. Yes, the volcano is vibrating. The volcano is vibrating here, guys. Harmonic tremors here. But it's not the only information we see here. I want to go over to another seismogram on the north side of Mount Baker. There's another seismogram called Shuxon. Shuxon has another seismogram here at Mount Baker on the north side. The Shuxon seismogram shows, look at this, harmonic tremors. Harmonic tremors like nothing else. Top to bottom, side to side. Mount Baker is vibrating. Mount Baker is vibrating, guys. This is no joke. It's vibrating. It's moving. This is the main seismogram coming from Shuxon Volcano. Harmonic tremors here. It's moving. But inside the volcano, let me show you what's going on. This is Shuxon Volcano seismogram here called HHN. HHN channel. This seismograph is a multi-channel seismograph. In this particular case, we're seeing magma here coming into Mount Baker. These curvy lines are called VLF waves. VLF waves are caused by magma entering the volcano under pressure. Look at this. Given this information, we should not just be seeing tremors, but we should actually be seeing a lot of earthquakes. A lot of earthquakes. 2.0 probably to 3.5 earthquakes happening here at Mount Baker. That means they are deleting the information. They are not being honest with what's going on here at Mount Baker at all. These heavy-duty lines you see here, these heavy-duty curly lines, are causing fraction in the rock inside the volcano. That fraction rock is causing earthquakes. They are not being honest with us about what's happening here at Mount Baker. Okay? Under pressure here. The magma is entering the volcano under pressure, causing rock fracturing. That's what we see here. Magma entering the volcano under pressure. Yes, it is causing earthquakes. But heaven forbid they show us what's actually happening. Incredible. As I said, I can't show you much of anything at Glacier Peak. I want to show you this though. This is the VOF seismogram. This is the VOF wave seismogram coming from Glacier Peak. The main seismogram doesn't show squat. Absolutely nothing. But as you can see, magma is still coming into Mount Baker. Glacier Peak, like Mount Baker, is a very active volcano. Glacier Peak is a very active volcano. Doesn't matter what they say is going on, they're not showing it at all. Nothing. These wavy lines here are causing rock fracturing, which has caused earth movement, which is earthquakes. Earth movement is earthquakes. Let's jump down to Mount Rainier. Recently, we've heard a lot about Mount Rainier. Yesterday, USGS reported 250 earthquakes at Mount Rainier. Interesting, but no cigar. Interesting, but no cigar. Let's look here at Camp Sherman. Camp Sherman. On the southern rim of Mount Rainier. Look here. Yes, we are seeing harmonic tremors. The volcano is vibrating. Harmonic tremors. The volcano is vibrating. Yes, magma is entering Mount Rainier. You see earthquakes here. You see a couple of earthquakes here. Let me enlarge this so you can see what's actually happening. On this blue line on the right-hand side here, right-hand side center. Okay? This would be after 4:30 a.m. on the left-hand side. Over here, now we are at approximately, let me look here. We are at approximately 4:32 p.m. 4:42 p.m. I'm sorry, 4:42 p.m. I'm sorry, not p.m. but a.m. 4:42 a.m. this morning. 2.4, 2.5 earthquake here. 4:42 a.m. this morning. Okay. You also see a bunch of tremors here. What are these straight vertical lines here? What are these straight vertical lines here? These straight vertical lines here on the left-hand side, those are steam signals. Mount Rainier is steaming. Mount Rainier has been steaming for a very long time. Why do we know that? We've seen it. We've seen the steam coming from Mount Rainier. Seen it, done it. Why is it happening? Why is it happening? There's magma going up inside the volcano, right? There's a plug at the top of the volcano, right? The plug of the volcano is a volcanic rock. Very deep volcanic rock plug holding the magma inside the volcano. The magma is hammering away at the lava plug, just like this. Hammering away at the volcanic plug. When that happens, the magma hammering away at the volcanic plug is causing cracks to happen in the plug, like this. Cracks happening in the plug. What happens then? 6 to 7% of all magma is water. 6 to 7% of all magma is water. So as that magma is hammering away at that plug, causing cracks to form in the plug. These cracks are called fissures or cracks. The cracks allow steam to escape from the volcano. The cracks in the plug are allowing steam to be released from the volcano. Every day. Every day. But in this case, yes, we have earthquakes and tremors happening here. We also see steam being released from the volcano. Over here on the right-hand side, right here. This black diagram, this black symbol here is called a magma churn signal. Magma churn signal. The magma churn signal is caused when there is heavy-duty heat from the magma. Superheated volcanic magma. In this case, we have a magma churn signal here. Magma churn signals are supposed to be 23 to 24 lines high. Why is it not? So far, I've never seen a 23 to 24 line magma churn signal. That is because the seismologists, the experts, turn down the electronics of the seismograph. They turn the electronics down on the seismograph, which is not allowing the seismograph to show exactly what's going on. Heaven forbid. Heaven forbid. This particular seismograph, I've already counted these lines. I've already counted these lines. Let me enlarge this so you can see what I'm talking about. This magma churn signal is 8 lines high, which means the seismologists have turned down the seismograph to only show 23 to 24% of real world. The seismograph in this case is only allowing the seismogram to show 23 to 24% real world, which means the minor earthquakes that we're seeing here are larger than they're showing. They're larger than they're showing. There's one more small earthquake here on that red line here. On this red line, you see an earthquake here with an dot in the middle of it. That means it's an earthquake. It appears to be a 2.5, 2.6 earthquake. This earthquake in this case probably is closer to a 3.0. Closer to a 3.0 earthquake here. Okay? Yes, Mount Rainier is not just steaming. Mount Rainier is still rocking from earthquakes. Earthquakes and tremors continue to happen here. Every day. Every day. They don't stop. They continue. This is Camp Sherman. Let me show you Camp Muir on the north side of the volcano. Look here. On this particular seismograph, you see a bunch of up and down V signals. That's abstract. That is abstract. What is happening here is we're having tremors here at the volcano, on the north side of the volcano. Tremor activity. These individual lines here you see up and down V signals. Those are crap. It's called abstract. These lines should either be straight, thin, or thick. Straight, thin, or thick, not V lines, not zigzag lines. Okay? They should be straight, thin, or thick lines. That's what is correct. Here you also see some tremors happening here, all throughout this diagram. Tremors happening here. But again, you see on this diagram, we have a steam signal here. That vertical line over here on the right-hand side. About 11, I want to say 11:54. Actually, no, 11:40 would be. Well, I believe it's on the black line here. So let's say 11:12 p.m. last night. This is a steam signal, guys. Mount Rainier is steaming. Let there be no doubt, Mount Rainier is steaming. But yesterday they said Mount Rainier had 250 earthquakes. Earthquakes in terms of tremors, minor earthquakes, microquakes, and small earthquakes as well. 250 of them every day. Didn't just happen yesterday, it didn't happen just today. These earthquakes are reoccurring every day. Magma continues to try to pour into Mount Rainier. It's building up steam. It's building up pressure. Building up pressure. That's why Mount Rainier is continuing to rock as it is. Rock and rolling here. That's going to continue until it erupts. Over on the western side of Mount Rainier, we go back to Star. Go back to Star. Last week and the week before, we saw a lot of earthquake activity at this point on the west side of Mount Rainier. A lot of activity. Here we are seeing microquakes, and yes, I believe we are also seeing some minor earthquakes as well. Down at the bottom. Down at the bottom on the right-hand corner on the red line. Okay? That is a minor tremor there on the bottom left on the red line. That is maybe a 1.7, 1.8 tremor. Throughout this side right here, on the left and right-hand side, and down at the bottom, we're seeing these vertical lines without dots in them. If the vertical line has a dot in it, it is an earthquake. But these vertical lines are all steam lines. Again, Mount Rainier is steaming. Let there be no doubt that Mount Rainier is steaming. It's a very active volcano. Down here at the bottom this morning and early afternoon, we saw more steaming activity. Mount Rainier is steaming. Let there be no doubt about it. Now here we don't see that much earthquake activity like we saw last week. Things have calmed down at Mount Rainier, but Mount Rainier is still active. Let there be no doubt at all, Mount Rainier is still active. Okay? Mount Rainier is still going to erupt at some point in time. Up at the left-hand side, you see more steam signals. Mount Rainier is continuous steam. It's going to happen. Mount Rainier is still a major volcano. Let's go down to Mount St. Helens now. Let's show you Mount St. Helens East Dome at the summit of the volcano. Look what we're showing here. No doubt, harmonic tremors. Harmonic tremors. Yes, we are also seeing some other tremors and minor earthquakes here as well. Mount St. Helens is moving. Mount St. Helens is moving. Down here in the bottom black line, Mount St. Helens is moving. These are all minor earthquakes here. Each and every one of these earthquakes are minor earthquakes here. Okay, the black line here on the left-hand side is 12 noon. The blue line here is 12:30. We see some minor earthquakes. We see some tremors. We see minor earthquakes 2.0, 2.7, 2.8, 2.9 earthquakes here. Mount St. Helens is active. Mount St. Helens is active here. Let me show you another seismograph here. Okay. Let's go over here to Elk Rock. Elk Rock. This particular seismogram, we're also seeing some tremors here. We're also seeing another superheated magma chain, magma churn signal. Interesting. Let's count the lines on this magma churn signal, can't we? Let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That means this particular seismogram is showing us 50% real world. 50% real world. This has happened before. Yes, we've had seismographs that have shown us 50% real world before. But here we're not showing anything but tremors. Nothing but tremors here at Elk Rock. That's all. Nothing but tremors. But at least we're seeing 50% real world. Doesn't happen very often. Let me show you another one here. Let me show you this one here. This is Mount St. Helens on the north side of the volcano. Studebaker Ridge. Here we're seeing a bunch of tremors. Lots and lots of tremors here. I do not see any minor earthquakes at all, even at the bottom here. All of this activity are tremors. Just nothing but tremors here at Studebaker Ridge on the north side of Mount St. Helens. Let's jump down here to September lobe. This is the ENZ channel at September lobe. Here we are seeing some minor earthquakes and some tremors here. Minor 2.0 to 2.9 and minor tremors 1.0 to 1.9 tremors here. On the upper right side of this seismogram on the red line here. The red line on the left-hand side would be about 6:15 on the left-hand side. So we're here. Now we're at 16:27 p.m. last night. 18:27 p.m. That's 6:27 p.m. here. Okay. This is a minor earthquake. 2.6, 2.7 earthquake here. You see other tremors here as well and minor earthquakes. Happening at Studebaker Ridge. Oh, not Studebaker, I'm sorry, this is September lobe. This seismograph is located on the top of Mount St. Helens, the summit. Sits on spindly legs just like a spider. Okay? But what I'm going to show you now should show you a lot more activity here than they're showing here. This is also September lobe. September lobe is a multi-channel seismograph. This seismograph is showing you the BDFCC01 part channel of the seismograph. This particular seismograph is showing us magma coming into the volcano. The wavy lines again. The wavy lines. Look at this. Today, this morning after 4 a.m. this morning, we should definitely be seeing more earthquakes. Why? Because, guys, the wavy lines get very busy here after 4 a.m. Get very busy. And all throughout the rest of the morning. We should be seeing a lot more earthquakes than we're seeing here. Why do we not see those on the other seismograph? Why not? Because again, the earthquakes that are happening here at Mount St. Helens are being scrubbed from the seismograph. They are totally being scrubbed from the seismograph. Nobody wants to see it. Actually, they don't want to see what's happening. Mount Rainier and Mount St. Helens are getting ready to erupt, and they don't want to see the details. Heaven forbid. Heaven forbid. Let's drop down to Mount Hood in Northern Oregon. Good old Mount Hood in Oregon. On the north side of Mount Hood, we have Barrett Spur. Here, Barrett Spur, they're not showing hardly anything going on. Tremors mostly. They're not showing anything going on. Heaven forbid. Tiny tremor activity last night. That's all they're showing. Why? Because heaven forbid they show us what's happening here at Mount Hood. There is activity at Mount Hood. I guarantee it. This is an earthquake here. This earthquake is after 7:30 last night. This is the 3.3 earthquake last night. 3.3 earthquake last night, small earthquake. Barrett Spur, Mount Hood. But they don't want to see what's happening. Small earthquake at Mount Hood. Let's look at this. Over on the south side of Mount Hood, we have a place called Hood Meadows. A seismogram on the bottom of Mount Hood. Okay? A little bit of distance from Mount Hood. This is called Hood Meadows. What are we seeing here? Harmonic tremors again. Mount Hood is vibrating. Mount Hood is vibrating. Let me show you another one. On the top side of Mount Hood, on the southern side of Mount Hood, we have a ski lift. This seismograph is at the top of the ski lift. It's called Palmer Lift. What are we seeing here? More harmonic tremors. All of these volcanoes are steaming. All of these volcanoes are vibrating. Vibrating. The magma coming into these volcanoes is causing these mountains to vibrate. Harmonic tremors here. All of them. All of them, guys. That's Palmer Lift. Let me show you Timberline. Timberline is over on the volcano at the bottom of the volcano. Right at the bottom of the volcano. It's called Government Camp. More harmonic tremors here. Top to bottom, side to side. It's not the only ones. It's by far not the only volcanoes that are doing that. Let's drop over to Newberry Volcano. Newberry Volcano right here. There are multiple seismographs on the volcanoes. In this case, this is at the pumice cone, Newberry crater. Look at the tremors happening here. Newberry crater. Lots and lots of tremors. You see horizontal lines here as well. Horizontal lines is showing magma coming into the magma chamber here as well. The thicker the lines, the more magma coming into the magma chamber. The thinner lines, less magma coming into the magma chamber here. You see tiny vertical lines here. Those are tremors. Lots and lots of tremors here. Now you see one vertical line that's long here. One very long vertical line. That's a steam signal. Newberry Volcano is steaming as well. It's steaming. Newberry Volcano. The pumice cone here is like this. Again, on this seismometer, you have these zigzag lines. It's called abstract. Those zigzag lines don't mean a world. They don't mean anything at all. But yes, we have one earthquake here late last night. Late last night. This earthquake last night was just after, I want to say, 11:40, 11:39, 11:40 last night. 2.8, 2.9 earthquake. Newberry Volcano. Unreal. It happens. Newberry Volcano, let's go down to Moon Volcano. Let's talk about Moon Volcano here. Well, I'll be darned. Let me see if I can bring it back here, guys. Apparently, they did not want me to show you Moon Volcano, but I'm going to try to do it anyway. Hold on a second. Give me just a second. All right. I've got it back. Hold on. Right there. This is Moon, or what they used to call Bachelor Volcano. As I said before, most of these volcanoes are all vibrating. Harmonic tremors here. Yes, these volcanoes are also having minor tremors as well. Besides regular harmonic tremors, they're having minor other tremors, larger tremors than that. 1.1, 1.2, 1.3 tremors here. You can see that here on this seismograph. Moon Volcano, or what they used to call Bachelor, is also figuring in to what's going on here. It's moving a lot, a lot. No, it's not major earthquakes, but it is moving a lot. Okay, There is magma coming into Mount Bachelor. There is magma coming into Mount Bachelor here. Okay, let's keep going. Let's go south. Now I want to go over to, that's right, I can't show you Crater Lake because there's nothing to show you. Crater Lake Volcano, they have USGS and the Pacific Northwest Seismic Network have completely obliterated anything that would be showing on Crater Lake Bunkhouse. The Crater Lake Bunkhouse seismograph is the only seismograph that will show us anything. It's not showing us anything at all. They basically just turned it off. They've turned off the bunkhouse totally. Not showing anything. Sad. Sad but true. That's what we have, is an out of control seismic service. When they turn off the seismograms, they're basically saying, oh, we don't want you to know what's going on. We don't want you to know what's going on. That's where we're at. Sad but true. There's one more I want to show you down to South Central Oregon. It's called Sisters Volcanoes. Sisters Volcanoes. There's only one seismograph that's monitoring 3 volcanoes in the Sisters complex. Sisters North, Sisters South, and Sisters Central volcanoes. One seismograph monitoring all 3. What's it showing? Look at this. Yes, we are having harmonic tremors here, but we're also showing you tremors and minor earthquakes. Tremors and minor earthquakes happening at Sisters Volcanoes. Unreal. All of the volcanoes in this region in the Pacific Northwest are moving. They're moving, guys. There is no doubt about it. They're moving. Do any of you have any questions about what is going on in the Pacific Northwest? Any questions at all? My dear sister Laura Marie is here. Laura, thank you for being here. We appreciate you being here. I just saw Laura Marie here in the chat. God bless you. We appreciate you here. Appreciate you being here. Any questions about anything, guys? Any questions, guys? It's unreal. Unreal. The volcanoes are moving. The ground is moving up and down the entire coastline, guys. Up and down the entire coastline. They don't want you to see what's happening because we have a Cascadia subduction earthquake happening. It's going to happen. The Cascadia earthquake is going to happen. I do not think it's going to happen maybe until 5 years from now, but it is going to happen. It's a matter of time. Earthquakes up and down the coast, the volcanic movement that we're having. When we last had a Cascadia earthquake, 324 plus years ago. When we last had a Cascadia earthquake, there was a ship's captain off the coast. He wrote in his ship's journal that he saw either Glacier Peak or Mount Rainier moving, erupting. Glacier Peak or Mount Rainier were erupting. Right now, Glacier Peak is showing activity, but no signs of eruption as we've seen at Mount St. Helens and Mount Rainier. Well, those volcanoes are showing those signs. USGS denies it. I saw a blurb about a week or so ago from USGS saying, don't listen to these people. They don't know what they're talking about. Fortunately, I do know what I'm talking about. USGS continues lying to the people. They've been lying to the people for a very long time. Any questions? I know we have quite a few people watching this program or listening to it. They're saying there's only 32 people watching. I know there's a lot more because USGS is not USGS. I'm sorry. YouTube is suppressing the information. They're suppressing the information. Folks, please, if you enjoy our channel, what we're doing, give us a thumbs up before you leave today. Give us a thumbs up and let USGS, well, not USGS, but let YouTube know that you like what we're seeing here and you want to see more of it. When YouTube gets the likes here, you look at it and go, oh my word, maybe we ought to let other people here on YouTube see this channel. Right now they're suppressing our membership. They're also suppressing the people that are here. They're suppressing our subscribers as well. Right now we are stuck at 7,097 subscribers. 7,097 subscribers. Isn't that interesting? Crazy. It's insane. It's insane. 7,097 subscribers. It's been that way for over a month, maybe a little bit longer. This is the second channel I've had here on YouTube. I started this channel 2.5 years ago after they took my first channel down, where I had 25,000 subscribers. They took it down because the previous presidential administration was telling them, censor everybody. Don't let people talk about what they need to talk about and tell the people exactly what's actually happening. The last presidential administration was lying to the public. When we exposed those lies, they didn't want anybody to hear it, so they told the social media people to suppress us. They did that. As a result, I started my second channel. I'm still on the air today. I'll be on the air after they are. Okay? I'll be on the air long after they're gone. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you being here. If you enjoy what we're doing, please support us here. We haven't had any super chats I haven't seen today. We have people that would like to support our channel. Now, here, I've actually turned off the PayPal and the Venmo addresses that were scrolling across the bottom of your screen. I turn them back on now. Now you can see it. We have two PayPal addresses here, our Hotmail address and our actual RLT, NSPD, EMA. Actually, it's RLT, NSPD at hotmail.com. It's a PayPal address. Okay. Our Venmo address is not working right now, but we'll get it working hopefully soon. Our other PayPal address is paypal.me, EMERMGMT ASSOC 591. PayPal. You go there and give us donations to our program, keep us on the air. We'd appreciate it. You'll also see our address, our email address going along here, rltnspdema@gmail.com. You see our mailing address, 504 Bethel Road, Box 401, Morganton, North Carolina. The zip code here is 28655. Send us cards and letters. Inside the card or letter, you can insert a check or cash and mail it to us. In the letter or your card, tell us what you're doing to prepare for your disaster or emergency that's going to happen. Everybody's going to see that. Everybody's going to see what happens. You need to prepare for it. So please give us a blurb on how you're doing it. Tell us how you're preparing, what you're doing for you and your family. We love to know. Okay, please share that with us. Okay, insert a check or cash inside that card or letter and send it to us. That's just one more way you can support this channel. Okay, now in closing, I've left you with a devotional for many years now. I'm doing that again tonight. I'm going over to Second Timothy chapter 3. I'm going to be reading from 2 Timothy chapter 3, verses 14 through 17 here. But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned, and hast been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned them from, and that from a child thou hast known the Holy Scriptures, which are made to make thee wise unto salvation, through faith which is in Christ Jesus. Let me read that over. And that from a child thou hast known the Holy Scriptures, which are able to make thee wise unto salvation, through faith which is in Christ Jesus. In verse 16, all Scripture says all Scripture is given by inspiration of God and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, and for correction, and for instruction in righteousness. All Scripture is profitable and is given through inspiration of God. Remember that. All Scripture is from inspiration from God and is profitable for mankind. May God bless us. We've now entered the holiday season. We're coming up on the season of Christmas. Folks, let's worship Jesus Christ. Let's celebrate his birth. Let's celebrate his birth. When you're giving Christmas presents this year, think about giving preparation presents, emergency preparedness presents. Think about something that someone might need or want if they were involved in an emergency, because they will be at some point in time. Think about that. Help somebody also help prepare themselves for what's coming. Trish Killian is saying here in the chat, Ron, I'd be interested to know why you think 5 years. Things seem to be escalating quickly. Yes, that's why I'm saying 5 years. The media, the Pacific Northwest Seismic Network and USGS is saying that they believe that cascading will happen within the next 25 to 50 years. I don't think it's going to happen that long. Yes, it is escalating more quickly. I think the Cascadia earthquake, the 9.0, 10.0 earthquake, is going to happen within the next 5 years. Things are escalating quickly. That's why I believe it. The agencies are saying 25 to 50 years. I'm saying 5 years. Just like I'm saying 2 years on the pneumatic fault. Things have escalated very quickly with the pneumatic fault. Gone from just tremors to small earthquakes and up above to 4.0 large earthquakes on the pneumatic fault. It's happened. And because of that, I'm saying maybe 2 years. It's escalated quickly. We'll see what happens. Brothers and sisters, God be with you. I love each and every one of you. You're not just my friends, you are my family. We respect and love each and every one of you. We really do. May God bless you. May God be with you this day and always. We love and appreciate you guys. Have a good night. Have a good day. If anything else happens tonight or in the morning, we'll be back on the air to tell you about it as soon as the information becomes available. Until then, have a good night. Give your families hugs. Never forget this. Each and every person deserves to be loved. Each and every person deserves to be loved. Give hugs frequently. Let your family members know they're cared about and loved. Don't let anybody not think that they are loved. They deserve that. That's why the Lord put us here, is to show love for each and every one of us. God be with you until we meet again. We'll see you on the other side. Have a good night, folks. God bless you. See you soon. Good night. Enjoy. Be safe. Take care.
Here at Emergency Management Associates, we're dedicated and true, bringing you the essential knowledge, helping you see things through. From disaster preparedness to navigating recovery's embrace, we're here to guide you in every unpredictable time and place. We break down the complex, make it easy to grasp and absorb, sharing strategies for safety, the vital lessons you can't afford to hoard. So thank you for watching, and thank you so much for your sub. You're a key part of our growing family, a member of our knowledge club. With every like, every share, and every comment you send our way, our critical message spreads further, helping more people every single day. Together we're stronger and more prepared. That's the truth we all abide. You help us build resilience with nowhere for uncertainty to hide. Your engagement truly inspires us. Your feedback acts as a guiding light, helping us continually grow and making our channel's future bright. We're always learning, always striving to be better, bring you the most up-to-date information, no matter the weather. Emergency Management Associates is here for you now and forever, it's true. Keep watching, keep learning, because we truly appreciate all that you do. Thank you. Thank you.